Hello, beautiful people. How you all doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes. Today, I haven't ridden on a bus in over a year, and I have the show coming up on Friday. I said what I said. They're coming to Toronto. I'm going for it, and I don't want to drive because parking is a hassle. So I'm going to go with the bus. I'm not certain what my route is, so I'm doing a test run today. So I'm using the bus to go like to the venue and back and to see how it is. So come along with me. I'll show you guys how the bus functions. I'm not sure if I've done that on this channel. And yeah, let's go. So this is me, my pretty self, skincare done, skin glowing, sunscreen on point. Although I'm going to be a little bit darker today, I know, because the sun is scorching, but let's do this. Come along. Let me see. Can you guys see my feet? Is it fitting there? Is my feet fitting? Yay, my feet is fitting now. That's it. See you guys later.
Yep. We have a new voice coming over and taking over the narrative, the voiceover for this show. So we decided to head out, like she previously mentioned. We were going out to town, and we stepped out, and we almost missed the bus, more or less. And Vivian is running just to get to the bus. The bus is in front, and we use the Presto cards to get around town. Once you enter the bus, there's a POS like thingy where you can tap your card and it charges you for the ride. For adults, it's $3.40. That lasts you for 2 hours. Side note, just a couple of months ago, years ago, once you paid the $2 and you went between cities, for example, the city of Mississauga has the My Way, city of Toronto has the TTC. Once you paid in My Way and then you went to Toronto and got on TTC, you would pay a brand new amount of money. But with the One Ontario measure, the money you pay on My Way can be taken over to the Go train, which can be taken over to the TTC. Basically saves the riders a lot of money. Anyway, back to the trip. It's been a long while since we took the bus, and it was kind of interesting to just see how slow the bus was again, because you're basically stopping at every single stop just to get people to come in, come off, come in, come off. Uh, the yellow rope you see behind Vivian is what you use to signal when you need to get off the bus. You pull that, and once you pull it, it gives a audio, gives a chime, and it tells you stop requested. And when stop is requested, you can then exit the bus when the bus gets to the bus stop. But if you don't press it, I'm on going to carry you go should you. Anyway, at this point we had gotten to Islington, or Islington, it's one of the two. And this was where we were taking the subway down to where we were heading in Toronto. This was first time this year that we're taking the subway, because usually we drive everywhere. But yeah, we came down from the bus and headed into the subway. Like once you go down the staircase, you have the option to turn to the left. There's signage actually that shows you where the buses and the trains are. And to get on the train, on the subway system, you have to tap yourself in. Vivian didn't know how to tap properly and opened the door for people that were coming out. And then when she tried tapping again, it didn't allow her because it says card has already been tapped. She then had to get the attention of one of the TTC or Go Train staff members to allow her to go in. But yeah, you kind of have to get used to using the Presto card. It can get confusing. for a bit. And when we went down the stairs, we were taking the number 2 subway. By the way, it's really weird that in the middle of town you have this sign that says "Welcome to Canada." This is not at the airport, it's not near the road border, just in the middle of town. "Welcome to Canada." Oh well. Moving on, there are two platforms. So, well, there's one platform and you can get on two trains, the one heading eastward and the one heading westward. We were heading to the east as we were going to east of Toronto, and yeah, we got into the subway. The subway system runs under the city, comes up, under this down, basically gets you around town much faster than driving through the traffic in Toronto. Sometimes you get beautiful views where you're up above the city and you can see the greeneries, the roads. Majority of the trip, you're just looking at concrete, like proper concrete. But yeah, it's still a good way to get around town. We had a couple of stops till we got to where we were going, and just to show you how each of the train station looks really similar. This was Jane. Funny story, when we were on our way back from this trip, there was some emergency at this station, and we got a lot of announcements at our final destination about how between Jane and where we entered from there was no service because there was some emergency. They didn't mention the nature of the emergency, but you know, they mentioned they would have shuttle buses that would take us from that station to the station we were heading to. Anyway, we got to Danforth in East York, Toronto. Came off the subway and went up into the streets trying to locate the Danforth Music Hall, where the show is going to be taking place. I said what I said on the 1st of August, featuring Joel and FK. And it was just amazing to see how far they've come from two people on a podcast to doing shows all around the world. We're so proud and happy for them. Since we'd found the location we were looking for, we decided to just take a walk around the streets, the area, spend some time before heading back and catching our train. We went into this little cute coffee slash ice cream store where they had different flavors of ice cream, different sandwiches, different coffees. It's a very cute little store. A gelato cafe. On our way down the street, we ran into a record store. Records have gone out of business, but it was still so interesting to see that we were still selling records. And then further down the street, we went into Bulk Barn. Bulk Barn sort of sells food ingredients in bulk. So you have a lot of things ranging from nuts, pistachios, to flowers, to gummies, to candy, so many things, seeds, sprinkles, colored sugars. There's so many things you can get at the bulk barn. And the interesting thing is you serve yourself more or less. You get a piece of nylon paper bag and then scoop with the spoons as much as you want. The prices are per pound, per kilogram, I think. And you can get several options: GMO, non-GMO, organic, non-organic, cookie dough milk, or The variety is just astonishing. Keto friendly. I didn't even keto friendly flowers. Just name it, and you probably will find it at bulk ban, and you can get it in bulk for cheaper than you would get it in the branded stores. So just take a quick look around the store and have a quick look at what more that they have. When we came in here just to look, but as usual now, the madam, the Vivian, the women, she just had to buy some things here. And at this point, she was picking some fancy sweetener, monk fruits, organic, you know. But hey, it was for cheaper price than you would get it if you went into a branded store. So we got that. We got all-purpose flour, unbleached, which apparently is a thing. Unbleached just basically means they don't have chemicals added to help with preservation and making it whiter. Also got dates as well, and yeah, that was our trip to the bulk ban. After the trip to the bulk ban, as we were walking, we noticed an alleyway. This is something that we mostly see in like Hollywood movies and whatnot, and it was just interesting. Smelly, stinky, smelling of piss ish. Yeah, diamonds were once women's best friends, but now Botox is. That was a funny signage. After going into one of a couple of the stores, we decided to take a walk on the avenue that has a location for the show and just, see what the local area had to offer. We saw a Krispy Kreme, and Vivian was like, "Oh, this is a Krispy Kreme we have in Lagos." I'm like, "Yeah, it came from Lagos or it came from North America to us in Lagos." And we saw Dr. Vivian, which was also quite funny. But you could just tell that this didn't have the hustle and bustle that you would typically find in downtown Toronto, because this was a couple of kilometers away from downtown. So it's not as heavy paced. There aren't as many people as you would find. You're able to take a relaxing stroll, and the weather was pretty good. In fact, I think it started to rain a bit further into the video. On the right is the LCBO, Liquor Control Board Ontario. They used to be the only guys allowed to sell alcohol in Ontario, but the Premier opened it up for stores to be able to sell some type of alcohol, not every single type. There's still some specialty alcohol that you have to go to the LCBO to get. And yeah, we just continue taking a walk down the street, the leisurely walk, seeing what the local area had to offer. Just showing that if this was downtown, you would not have the space to do that twirl. And crossing the road, that's the location for the show, the Danforth Music Hall. See you on August 1st. So excited to be going. At this point, we had taken quite a long walk, and then we saw the bus carrying people around Toronto. City sightseeing Toronto, an open edged bus where people could just go around and see what the city looks like. And yeah, we were done with our little trip down and headed back to the subway to go back home. This time, Vivian finally knew how to operate the doors, the Presto card, to get back into the subway. And from Broadview, all we had to do was wait for our subway to come in. The subway comes pretty regularly every 7 or so minutes. And there it is. So, getting into the subway, the rest of the trip was basically like coming back using the TTC and then back on the My Way bus, which is Mississauga Transport. And that was it. We had a good time out. So the sun, so the location where we were going for, I said what I said, and we headed back home. Thank you for joining us on this trip. Like, subscribe, do all the needful, and yeah, have a good one. Bye.